And I'm your host Malika Mishra. Along the next 1 hour, I will be taking up all your queries. So don't forget to call me on the numbers flashing on your screen. You can also reach out to us on WhatsApp, both the numbers of which are available on your screens. But I do urge you to pick up your phones and call us on the numbers available to you. Today, we're being joined by Vaibhav Vidwani on the fundamentals and Gaurav Sharma on the technicals. Welcome both of you to the show, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Let's go across to our first query written to us from Vivek from Bengaluru on WhatsApp. He currently holds 470 shares of Bank of Maharashtra at 50 rupees a piece, and he is asking whether he can average these shares at the current levels. He's already sitting on a loss of about 20,000, and the stock was down about 0.35% today. Gaurav, I'd like to take this view from you first. What is your analysis of Bank of Maharashtra, and what do you think our viewers should do with his investment?
Bank of Maharashtra is among the better placed PSU players. We are bullish on the stock, very valued stock. Currently quoting around 51 odd levels. So the question is whether he can average or not. Yes, he can average. He can add more quantity here. The stop loss is very close by. He can take a stop at 46, and for a near term, he can expect targets close to 60 in the coming 2 to 3 months.
Okay, all right. And speaking of, the banking space altogether, Weber, what is your view, and do you think this is the right time to invest in any of the banking names, such as Bank of Maharashtra itself?
Okay. So as we see recently, there's a very good news that RBI is infusing near about 2.7 lakh CR in market. So that thing through dividends. So that thing will support PSU banks as their treasury income will increase, and also flow of funds in market will increase. So availability of deposits also can increase, and advance growth will also improve. So yes, we can invest in banking space, and currently there is stress of deposits in market, so that's why cost of funds are increasing. So that's why RBI have done such type of infusion. So yes, we can hold Bank of Maharashtra. As I told, PSU will be the beneficiary of that infusion. And he can also look for the private banks like ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank are some of the good bets. In PSU, Bank of Maharashtra, Bank of India are some of the good stocks.
Okay. Thank you so much for those recommendations. And now we will go across to another WhatsApp query. Surendra has written to us from Chennai asking whether this is the right time to enter BHEL at current levels. Now, Weber, tossing this question again to you. BHEL has been performing pretty well, especially after the kind of results it revealed in Q4 of FY25, where profit also doubled, and plus it seems to be having a healthy performance on the stock market as of now. What is your take on BHEL, and do you think the current levels are justifiable to enter at the moment?
If we see, BHEL is into the equipment manufacturing, power plant equipment manufacturing, and BHEL P is 171. So I will recommend that investor can enter at some lower levels because PE is quite high. Otherwise, overall prospect of this company is quite good. So we can enter in lower levels if investor is comfortable.
Okay, and that brings me to you, Gaurav. Since our fundamental expert says that one can enter BHEL at a lower level, what do you think that price band should be?
Yes, even I do believe that these are very high price for BHEL. It has ran up recently, shown a good up move from 215 to currently trading 260 plus. So the right price band would be somewhere close to 235 to 40 range, where I would prefer to enter into this stock, keeping a stop somewhere close to 225, and then I'll be looking at targets close to 260, 270, 280 again.
Okay, understood. And now we're being joined by our very first caller this evening. Rahul is on the phone line from Bengaluru. Hi, Rahul. Good evening. Rahul, can you hear me? Okay. There seems to be an error with the audio, but Rahul's query was basically about Zydus Life Sciences. He currently holds 170 shares of Zydus Life Sciences at 1,100 apiece, and he was seeking a long-term view on this one. Therefore, Vaibhav, this takes me to you. Zydus Life Sciences has been reacting positively to certain US FDA notes, to certain, for its, certain drugs, but given how structurally it has performed, at least year to date, it has dropped down by about 6.35%. And the levels at which Rahul bought them at 1,100 is definitely higher than how or where it has been trading for a while now. When do you see that recovery happen? Because Zydus Life Sciences, at the end of the day, is a pharma company. Do you see strength?
Zydus is available at a very low, attractive valuation, but overall stress in the industry, there's a stress in industry because of the US and Europe market. So I will say that investor can opt a cautious approach right now, and he can look for some other good stocks in other segments. He can even look for some hospital stocks.
Okay. And therefore, then, do you have any recommendations in the hospital space?
Medanta is one of the good stock. Kims is one of the good stock.
Okay, got it. Let's go across to another caller joining us from Bengaluru again. Prakash is on the phone line. Hi, Prakash. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Please go ahead.
Madam, my call.
Yes.
Yeah, madam, my query is, today I saw there is a Hind Motor. There's a news was floating actually regarding it is going to bought by. There's some news regarding BYD Motors company is going to tie up with Hind Motors. Can I enter this level now, or should I wait?
Okay, understood.
Hindustan Motors.
Okay, sure. Gaurav, Hindustan Motors, Prakash wants to know whether this is the right time to enter. Now, it was above 11% high in trade today and has been performing well. But auto space per se has been a little bit dicey because of a lot of developments around what's happening with different companies. How do you see Hind Motors performing currently, and do you think the levels at which it is currently trading is right to enter the stock?
Yes. Barring today's up move where the stock rallied over 11%, this was laying low and no meaningful activity was witnessed both on the price as well as on the volume front. Today, suddenly, a whooping volume came in, which is actually, close to 4 to 5 times of its daily average volume. So this recent up move was backed by volumes. It went up to 31 odd levels, settled at 29.55. So I don't track it very closely, this particular space, but just on the charts front, yes, has started looking attractive now. 31.50 is the immediate resistance where the stock tested today. If it manages to go past that level, then 34.50, 35, 35.50 would be the range. So if the viewer has the stock, then he should hold on to it and maintain a trading stop loss. As of now, the stop would be around 27. But I will not suggest a fresh buying here at these levels.
Okay, understood. So we need to wait for an attractive price to enter Hindustan Motors, but the charts seem to look attractive in recent times. Now we have Amol on the phone line from Noida. Hi Amol, good evening. Okay, we've unfortunately lost him, but we will take up his query. Amol currently holds 150 shares of ICICI Prudential, and he bought them at an average price of 647, the price at which it is currently trading, and he wanted a short-term view on this one. Therefore, going back to you on this, Gaurav, the stock has gained about 7% in the last 1 month. If Amol had to hold it for a short term, say about 3 to 6 months, how far do you think the stock price could go?
The stock has potential to go up further towards 700, 720 range in the next, say, 1 month or so. So it is better he should hold on to his position. And if at all there is some dip towards a 630, 635 range, he should consider adding more if he is having some surplus cash with it.
Okay. Thank you so much for that advice. And now we're being joined by Shubham from Jodhpur. Hi Shubham, good evening, namaste.
Hi ma'am, good evening.
Please go ahead.
I'm holding Amber Enterprises,
Okay.
10 stocks at the price of 6100.
Okay.
So I want to add some more amount in EMS sector. So Amber is a good stock, or should I go with some second option?
Okay. And since when have you been holding these 10 shares of Amber Enterprises?
From more 6 to 8 months.
Okay, 6 to 8 months. Understood. Vaibhav, I'll take this question to you. Shubham from Jodhpur currently holds 10 shares of Amber Enterprises at 6,100 rupees a piece. The stock is trading around 6,425 and he's made a minimal profit of about 3,000 rupees from this investment. Now, he wants to remain invested in the EMS space. Now, looking at the way, Amber particularly has been trading, I feel it is range bound. Number one, I would want to know from you whether you think the same about it as well. And are there any other counters in the EMS space that you could sort of point out your fingers at and ask our investor to invest in?
I will say Amber is a good stock and overall EMS space is quite good and we can observe a very good growth in this particular segment. So yes, we can hold Amber and otherwise we can even go for there are different stock which are the good competitor like Voltas is there. So, but I will say Amber is a good choice because they have a very a good client base and we can expect good order book growth in this particular stock.
Okay, okay. So strong order book could be expected in case of Amber Enterprises and therefore you could maybe have a look at it as well. We're being joined by Arun from Hyderabad on the phone line. Hi Arun, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Hey Arun, please go ahead with your question.
Hello, sir. My query is regarding Reliance Power. So
Okay.
I've been holding around 89,000 shares, bought at an average price of 3030. And I want to ask if it's the right time to book profit or should I continue to hold it? I've been holding it for around 5 to 6 years. But I feel like right now it's at a very good price and I'm tempted to take the profit. Just wanted to hear your opinion.
Okay, okay, definitely. So Arun from Hyderabad currently holds 89,000 shares of Reliance Power at 30 rupees a piece. The stock is trading around 50, so he's made a profit of 20 rupees on per share that he holds, and therefore that being accumulated to a profit of about 18 lakh rupees. So congratulations to our viewer on identifying that attractive price. Now his query is about whether he can book his profits already or should he continue holding. And for this one, I'd like to come to you, Gaurav. Looking at how Reliance Power has been trading in the past couple of years, it definitely has had on an average an upward move. But since September of 2024, it has been trading in a strict price range. Would you recommend our viewer to continue holding his shares or can he book partial profits at least?
I think the viewer is having a long-term view with this stock. So I would be very clear on this part. If the viewer can hold it for the next 1.5, 2 years, he should not worry at all. Should continue going on holding this stock. The Ambani's younger brother is doing all good with this company now. They have started posting profits. The debt is reducing. They are getting contracts. So all good is happening around. So this is time that he should stay invested.
Okay, so maybe stay invested if you have the patience is the suggestion coming in from Gaurav. Now we have Mansingh joining us on the phone line from Kurnool. Hi Mansingh, good evening. Please go ahead with your question. Mansingh, can you hear me? Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. We'll take Mansingh's query. Mansingh from Kurnool currently holds 20 shares of Techno Electric Engineering at 1,175 rupees a piece. The stock is trading around 1,275, was up about 4.5% in trade today. He's also made a profit of 2,000 rupees and he's asking a 1-year technical view on this particular company. Therefore, Gaurav, going back to you, how do you think Techno Electric is working on the charts? Because it seems to be currently in the lower swing.
Yes, you have rightly mentioned it has started bouncing back from its recent lows that were close to 800 levels. Now, currently, the stock is trading close to 1300 odd levels. But the good part is it is trading well above its important moving averages. All the moving averages, rather, both the long, short, and medium term averages. Stock is looking very good on chart. From a 6 months to year long perspective, I see the stock heading towards 1700 or maybe 1800 levels in that time zone.
Okay, okay, understood. Now we have Kumar on the phone line from Chennai. Hi, Kumar. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. This is regarding Sun Pharma.
Okay.
I'm holding 40 shares at 1720.
Okay.
So I'd like to know technical view on short-term view on this.
Okay, sure. So our viewer Kumar from Chennai currently holds 40 shares of Sun Pharma at 1,720 rupees a piece. The stock is trading around 1,679, so it's given him a tad bit of loss of about 1.7 thousand rupees, and he is seeking a technical view on this one. So Gaurav, again back to you. How does Sun Pharma look on the charts?
The chart formation is not very much clear. It is not a clear buy, neither it is a clear sell. So as of now, I would suggest him to hold on to his position as you know the current price is very close to his entry price. So considering the kind of pedigree this stock has, it is better to hold on to it. The stop loss should be kept at 1620 if it is a short-term trading position, and once it manages to surpass 1800 on a closing basis, it has potential to go up to even 2000 in a short span of time.
Okay, okay, understood. And very quickly, Vaibhav, I would like to take your view on the pharma space as well. I know we spoke about Zydus Life Sciences, but a lot of viewers might be interested in knowing what's happening with the pharma space. In fact, today itself, if we pull up the sectoral heat map, you would see that pharma was one of the top losers, the third. In fact, while all the sectors ended in the green, pharma was the third least gainer from that sense, and it has been in pressure because of these tariff announcements and a lot of geopolitical pressure. But Sun Pharma, for say, has had some positive development because it recently increased its stake in a US based company. Now, how do you see the space, and is it really the right time to enter pharma companies like Sun Pharma?
As per me, we should be little cautious in pharma space because of the international stress. If we know that in US they are planning to reduce the prices of the pharma things, so that can impact revenue growth in upcoming years. So that's why we should be little cautious. We should till the time we don't have clarity how the market will be and how the things will be, we should be little cautious about the pharma. And in Sun Pharma also, in future there some drugs are going to be means their license are going to be expired, so that thing can impact their revenue growth.
Okay, okay, understood. So cautious approach towards the pharma space is what our our experts are suggesting. Now we're being joined by Surya from Karnataka. Hi Surya, good evening.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
Please go ahead with your question.
I'm a frequent watcher of the show and I quite like this one.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So my question is on RateGain Travels Technology. I have bought these company shares of 480 per share, and I hold around 200 odd shares. I would like to know the long-term view on the share and fundamentally whether it can give a better result, like since today was the quarter result. I'm trying to understand how it will go on in the coming years.
Okay, okay, understood, got it. Okay, our viewer Surya from Karnataka currently holds 200 shares of RateGain Travel at 480 rupees a piece. The stock is trading around 525 and it was up about 4% in trade today. Now, RateGain also came up with its quarterly results today and it was pretty good, where it met its FY25 guidance. Revenue was also up about 12%. Taking this question to you, Vaibhav, how do you view the company, and does it fundamentally look strong enough for our viewer to stay invested and maybe also accumulate more shares of the company?
Okay. So first of all, currently RateGain is available at an attractive valuation of PE of 29.7, which is lower than the industry PE. And RateGain is the leading distribution technology company. So I am little optimistic because in such time this company have delivered good numbers when their competitors are delivering little stress numbers. So we can hold this particular stock for a while, and my view is quite optimistic. Whereas we can even observe DII have improved their holding in this particular stock.
Okay. And now we have Vijay from Hyderabad joining in on the phone line. Hi Vijay, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I'm holding the 600 shares of Enviro Infra
Okay.
at price 225.
Yeah.
So for short term, 3 months,
Okay.
I want to know the technical view.
Okay. Vijay, before I toss this question to my experts, could you tell me why did you invest in Enviro Infra? Because it recently debuted on the stock exchanges, right?
Yeah, it's like wastewater treatment industry, like water, bag, etc. Related. It's listed in December actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, from some 400 price it came to 180. Now from 180 now it came to some 240. From last 2 days it's increasing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm tracking this. So yeah.
Sure, sure. So you want a short-term view on this one. Gaurav, I'll take this question to you. Vijay from Hyderabad currently holds 600 shares of Enviro Infra at 225 rupees a piece, and he's seeking a short-term view on this. Now, not just Vijay, but I've seen a lot of viewers who are invested in this are particularly curious about where the stock is headed, because given how it has performed since the time of its listing, is attracting a lot of investors. It is up about 17% in the past 6 months. What do you think is strengthening the stock, and do you think there's more potential to go?
Yes, the stock has not performed well in the immediate near term. What I see on charts is a long consolidation, which eventually resulted in a breakout. That is a positive development. So currently the stock is trading at 243 odd levels, and chart patterns look fine, although data is limited. But whatever data I have suggesting that it is in good hands, and it is more likely to trade higher towards 280 levels. If the viewer can hold it for next couple of months, I think 280 290 levels would be seen.
Okay, okay. And just breaking in a little bit, because there's a news coming in. SEBI has allowed exchanges to choose either Tuesday or Thursday as expiry days. And I'm going to bring in my colleague Charu to give us more information on this. Charu, firstly, what do these new rules for equity derivatives mean for investors? How is it going to change the dynamics of investing?
Hi. So firstly, for the first time when we saw curbs on the weekly expiry days that happened in October last year, it was done to, sort of deal with the rising volumes in the F&O derivative segment. Now, in order to deal with it further and to prevent any sort of volatility in the market, the regulator came out with a proposal saying that the exchanges can pick either Tuesday or Thursday in a week as their expiry day. No other day can be treated as an expiry day. Now, in furtherance of those proposals, once they were accepted by a SEBI panel, a circular is out, which is giving finality to what SEBI had suggested in March this year, and now the exchanges have to uniformly divide their expiry days within the week. So this also saw some sort of resistance from smaller exchanges like MSE and NCDEX, as we reported earlier this morning. However, regulator has gone ahead with its suggestion and has also asked the exchanges to prepare operational guidelines and send them over to SEBI. So yeah, this is the new rule that is going to be applicable in terms of which days are going to be treated as the expiry days by exchanges.
Okay, okay, understood. Thank you so much for that, Charu. So, viewers, basically the news is that SEBI has now made it mandatory for equity, basically expiry days for equity derivative. So basically, I'll revise that. So basically, what SEBI has come up with is the fact that all equity derivative expiry will now be either held on Tuesday or Thursday, and each exchange can choose one weekly benchmark index options contract on its chosen day. And in order to basically, execute this, exchanges must get SEBI's prior approval to change their current expiry date. And that's a breaking news coming in. We will now go to Ankit joining us on the phone line from Ahmedabad. Hi Ankit, good evening.
Good evening.
Please go ahead with your question. Yes.
Yes, I wanted to know that is it right time to buy BSC?
Okay.
And the time horizon is about 2 years.
Okay, understood. Vaibhav, I will reiterate Ankit's question. Ankit from Ahmedabad simply wants to know whether this is the right time to enter BSC. Do you think BSC is a good player as a part of the capital market story of India?
As we know that day by day, investors, traders are increasing in market. So for long term, if someone want to invest in BSC, surely they can. And as we know that recently the good news came that now exchanges have to select a day for the expiry. So that will even support the volume and that will support the revenue growth of BSC. So surely we can enter in BSC for long term perspective. If it is possible, investor can enter at lower level. Currently, stock is trading at 75 P. So at lower level, stock will be more attractive.
Okay, so the stock will be more attractive at lower levels is what our expert is suggesting. But viewers, we'll have to slip into a short break. But keep sending in your queries on WhatsApp as well as call in. We will be right back for Ask Profit. Do stay tuned to the channel for more.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims?
Hello and welcome back to Ask Profit, only on NDTV Profit, a show where you can ask all your stock-related questions and we will have our guests to answer them. That brings me to the guests of this evening. Vaibhav Vidwani will be answering all your fundamental questions and Gaurav Sharma will be taking in all your technical doubts. So do pick up your phones and call in on the numbers flashing on your screen. You can also write to us on WhatsApp, but I do urge you to pick up your phone and call us so that you can get the best investment advice live on this show. We're being joined by Madhusudan from Kolkata on the phone line. Hi Madhusudan, good evening.
I have.
Yes, you have?
I have 15,000 G Entertainment at the cost of 128 rupees.
Okay.
So 50% of that I like to exit within a month. So at what price I should exit?
Okay, interesting. Gaurav, our viewer Madhusudan from Kolkata currently holds 15,000 shares of Z Entertainment at 128 rupees a piece. The stock is hovering around the same levels at which he bought them, and he wishes to exit at least 50% of these shares by the next month. When do you think would be the right level to mark an exit from these shares?
I think first thing should be he should place a stop loss here, so as to he should always know and understand by what level the risk could be. So with a 1 month type of a perspective, 120 is the stop loss that I'm suggesting in. And if the stock manages to go past 132, which is pretty much likely, I see the stock testing 140, 145 odd levels. So that is the point where he should consider booking that part of the profit.
Okay. Fair enough. And now we're being joined by Amit from Hyderabad. Hi Amit, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Please go ahead with your question.
Ma'am, I'm holding Tanla platform.
Okay.
About 200 shares of rupees 618, which is average price. I'm not worried about the company, okay?
Okay.
So I have 2-3 thoughts. I don't want to exit. My point is, at what lower levels can I add more 200 to 300 shares? Because this is an OTP business, which is a monopoly. So I want to know at what lower price can I add more shares. I'm looking, my term is about 10 to 15 years.
Okay. And Amit, when did you purchase these 200 shares first?
Ma'am, in about a year's time.
Okay. Interesting.
Within a year's time. Yeah.
Okay,
I started purchasing from 900 rupees level because I'm based out of Hyderabad. The company is based out of Hyderabad. So I know it well. So.
Okay, very interesting. Okay. So basically, Amit from Hyderabad currently holds 200 shares of Tanla platform at 618 rupees a piece. That is his average price, and he started accumulating them about a year ago when these shares were trading at, say, around 900 levels. Now his question is that he is interested to add more shares of Tanla platform to his portfolio, and he wants to know the right price at which he can do so. Therefore, Gaurav, I will take this question to you. Tanla platform has been on a declining slope since September of 2024, but our viewer seems to have a lot of confidence in the company and wants to remain invested for the next decade. What is your suggestion to him, and when do you think he can add more shares of Tanla platform?
Yeah, firstly, Tanla has started moving up. It is comfortably sustaining above its 100 period exponential moving average. From a medium term perspective, this is a very healthy sign. The 200 period EMA is placed somewhat around 650. The stock is fairly valued at current levels. So I think he should consider averaging it here also. These are good attractive levels. He should not expect a decent fall from here. At least I'm not expecting a decent fall from here. So this is the point where he should consider averaging the position, especially considering such a long-term view of 10 odd years, which is quite long.
Okay, understood. And now we're being joined by another caller, Ram from Chennai. Hi Ram, good evening.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
Please go ahead with your question, Ram.
Yeah, I'm holding 100 shares of IndusInd Bank at 820 rupees.
Okay.
So I bought it like more than 2 months.
Okay.
So like the stock has been corrected a lot. So I'm okay to add another 50,000 to this stock. So whether it will fall under a correction one more time or should I start accumulating at 800 levels?
Okay.
So I'm looking for long term, like 2-3 years.
Interesting. Vaibhav, I'll take this question to you. Ram from Chennai currently holds 100 shares of IndusInd Bank at 820 rupees a piece. First of all, the stock price at which he bought is sort of accurately in between its 52-week high and low. Second, IndusInd Bank has undergone a lot of negative news flow recently with its discrepancies found in its accounting derivatives portfolio. Then a lot of top exits, top management exits from the bank, and a lot of investor confidence also shaken because of these discrepancies that were found. Plus, quarterly results were disappointing too. But on a surprising note, IndusInd Bank has not been doing that badly on the street. How do you think IndusInd Bank is poised for the future on the exchanges, and what would you recommend our current investors who are currently invested in the bank to do with their shares?
First of all, whenever we deposit our funds in banks, so we need trust. So whenever there is discrepancies in the actions of banks or in their working, it impact the clients of that particular bank, and it impact their deposit growth. And if deposit growth is less, then their advance growth will also be adversely impacted. And now still their top authorities are not selected, so it will take time. And what will be the strategy of new top authorities? So all things are quite still, we are not aware how bank will perform, how they are going to do their operations, what will be their approach now. So these all things can even impact their cost of funds. Even they can have to pay higher cost of funds on their deposits. So I will say investors should be cautious. If such type of bank is available at a lower price to book value, that doesn't mean we should enter. We should be little cautious till that things are not clear. Once we have a clear information about this bank, how they are going to perform, then we should enter.
Wise advice. And now let's go across to a caller called Chandan from New Delhi on the phone line. Hi Chandan, good evening. Chandan?
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
Hey, good evening. Please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I'm holding 2,500 quantity of Capacite Infra project, and I have bought it today only. So I want to know around 3 months outlook of this stock.
Okay, and what made you buy these shares today, Chandan?
Because first of all, this belongs to infrastructure sector, and as far as I know, at least for the next 5 or 6 years, there would be very good development in the infrastructure sector. So that might be beneficial for this company, and this price is looking somewhat okay to me because it has fallen from 500 and right now it is 350. So I thought this is, like a good price also.
Understood. Okay. Thank you so much for explaining that to me. So basically, Chandan from New Delhi currently holds 2,500 shares of Capacite Infra projects at 350 rupees a piece. He bought them today, and reasons being he wanted to maybe invest in the infrastructure space. Capacite infra projects is involved in infrastructure with more exposure towards the housing sector, and he feels that because the price is currently trading around 350 rupees and its high being about 500, maybe the stock is trading at a discount. Therefore, Vaibhav, I'll come to you on this. Do you think Chandan firstly made a good decision by buying prices of this particular company at this juncture? And what do you think is the outlook of the company looking like from a fundamental perspective?
Okay, so if we see currently the stock is trading at a PE of 14.5, which is lower than the industry PE of 35, and this stock is into the infra space. So now we can expect improvement in infra space, which can support revenue growth of this particular stock. And even domestic institutional investors have increased their holdings in this particular stock, and their margins are also improved. So I say we can hold this particular stock, and I'm also optimistic about the infra space.
Okay, okay, understood. And let's go across to our next caller, Krishna from Bengaluru joining us. Hi Krishna, good evening.
This time I just want to ask about Ashok Leyland.
Okay.
Okay, I'm planning to invest some 1 lakh rupees in that. So his current price is 239. So is it technical suggestion would like to know, and is it the right time to invest? Anyway, bonus share is also announced now. So based on that, I would like to have a view.
Okay, okay, understood. But why are you interested in Ashok Leyland, Krishna?
Normally I have all other OEMs also, like Mahindra and all other things are there. So now it looks attractive, so that's why I just want to check with you.
Okay, okay, understood. Vaibhav, I'll take this question to you again. How do you think Ashok Leyland is poised for now? Our viewer wants to know whether this is the right time to enter. Ashok Leyland came up with a good quarter. What's your sense?
Okay, so yes, we can hold Ashok Leyland because I think that in upcoming quarters we can expect improvement in the demand of commercial vehicle, and which will support the revenue growth of Ashok Leyland. Earlier in rural areas, the focus was more on towards the improving the utility of vehicles, and as now in rural area demand is increasing, so we can expect increasing demand for the commercial vehicle, which will support the revenue growth and net profitability of this particular company. So I'm quite optimistic about this stock.
Okay, okay. And Gaurav, quickly taking your view on Ashok Leyland as well. Do you think this is the right level to enter the company?
Yes, the viewer can start gradually accumulating the stock here. I'm suggesting gradually accumulate because firstly, I do not see a very large sum of decline coming in this stock. Neither I see this stock rising up quickly. So it's kind of a sideways to a range bound type of a movement that could be seen, but largely the stock looks upbeat. So these are the levels one should start investing in.
Okay, okay. And viewers, for those of you interested in Ashok Leyland, you can also watch our interview. We interviewed the CEO and MD of Ashok Leyland, and that interview would be available on digital. So go ahead and watch. And it'll also be on, airing live on TV at 8:30. So do have a look. And we're being joined by Kiran from Hyderabad now. Hi, Kiran. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Please go ahead with your question.
So I would like to know whether it is the right time to enter the Balakrishna Industries.
Okay, and why are you interested in Balakrishna Industries, Kiran?
Their 2030 plan is looking very promising. Like they're planning to enter into the commercial vehicle as well as the passenger vehicle. And at the same time, they have their own manufacturing unit of carbon black. So they don't need to rely on the other vendors like PCBL. So
Okay.
I just wanted to know.
Okay, understood. Vaibhav, Kiran from Hyderabad wants to know whether this is the right time to enter Balakrishna Industries. Now, a couple of brokerages are cautious about the company diversifying in the tire segment because of high competition in that space. What's your sense of Balakrishna Industries?
Now, as we know that overall numbers which company reported earlier were means as per the expectation, they were not very impressive. So I will say we should be cautious about this particular company because the segment in which they entered is quite competitive. So and it can impact their revenue growth and margins in upcoming quarters. So we should wait how they are performing and then we can enter.
So it's a wait and watch on Balakrishna Industries. And next up, we have Sanjay joining us on the phone line from Mysuru. Hi, Sanjay. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Please go ahead with your question.
Ma'am, right time to buy Varun Beverage at correct level, ma'am. In a short term, 9 month, 2 lakhs investment, ma'am.
Okay, 2 lakhs. Okay, okay. Gaurav, Sanjay from Mysuru seems to be interested in investing in Varun Beverages. He has a corpus of 2 lakh rupees. Would you suggest him to put in his money, 2 lakh in this case, entirely in Varun Beverages?
Yes, Varun Beverages is available at a very attractive price point, considering it is a beverage company and we are into a summer season. So we are expecting some good numbers coming in the upcoming quarters from this company. It has not performed well in the past couple of months and has corrected also reasonably. Currently trading at 482. I think if we can take a stop off at 425, this is a good bet to buy.
So good time to buy Varun Beverages for all of you who are interested. And now we have Sai Teja joining us on the phone line from Nellore. Hi Sai Teja, good evening. Sai, can you hear me? Okay, I cannot. So Sai Teja from Nellore had called us because he wanted to ask about his shares in Trident. He currently holds 6,000 shares of Trident at 53 rupees a piece and is seeking a 10-year view on this one. Now Trident is currently trading around 33 rupees a piece. Therefore, our viewer is also sitting on a loss of about 1 lakh, more than a lakh in fact. Vaibhav, I'll come to you on this. Trident seems to be on the radar or in the portfolios of many investors at these times. What would your suggestion to those investors who are already invested in Trident be? And when do you think a recovery could happen? Because it has fallen significantly from the price at which our viewer bought them at 53 rupees per share.
I'm a little optimistic about this particular stock. I know that Trident is trading at a higher valuation of 45, where the industrial PE is of 26. But the sector in which it deliver its services. So I'm quite optimistic about that sector because of the Bangladesh conflicts and the international new opportunities that India got. So I think so Trident revenue will improve in upcoming years. So yes, we can hold this stock for long term.
Okay, understood. And I will take up another WhatsApp query now of Ramesh from Chennai. He currently holds 506 shares of NCC at 263.7 rupees a piece and is asking whether he can continue holding or sell the counter. Gaurav, looking at how NCC is currently trading, basically Ramesh bought them at 263.7. What would your suggestion to Ramesh be?
I think he should hold on his position. Although some bit of resistances are placed around 240, but the stock looks upbeat and it is more likely that it will surpass those resistance levels and head towards 260, 270 zone. So I'll advise him to hold on this position, keep a stop at 218.
Okay, 218 is the stop loss. And now we have another query. Sunita has written to us from Hyderabad. She holds 100 shares of Skipper at 430 rupees a piece and is again asking whether she can continue holding or sell her shares. Now she is sitting on a profit of about 7,000 rupees. Vaibhav, I'll take your view on Skipper. Do you think Sunita will be able to expand her profits by investing in Skipper?
Means if we see the industry of pipes and fittings is not performing right now very means their companies have not delivered very robust number, and this stock is also trading at a means higher valuation of 39 and where the industry P is of 34. So my view is little cautious about this particular stock. If investor can want to enter, that the investor can enter at lower levels, but right now I will not recommend this particular stock.
Okay, so right now you would not recommend Skipper. And we have another caller joining us currently, Tokir from Bihar. Hi Tokir. Can you hear me? Okay, hello. Okay, there seems to be an error with the phone line, but basically a viewer from Bihar, he currently holds 1,950 shares of Bajaj Housing Finance at 168 rupees a piece and is seeking advice on his investment, whether he should hold or sell. Gaurav, what is your sense on Bajaj Housing Finance? Our viewers seem to hold a really large bank of shares, 1,950 shares, and Bajaj Housing Finance has dropped significantly from his buying price at least. What is your sense over there?
From a technical chart point, it still does not look attractive. From a valuation point, when I see the valuation are still on the higher side despite being correcting so much. My advice would be to switch to something like LIC Housing Finance or maybe Aadhar Housing Finance for that matter if he plans to stay invested in the housing finance space, because this particular space is attractive, and from a year to 2 years point of view, I think these housing finance companies are more likely to do better. But Bajaj Housing not looking good both on technical as well as fundamental.
Okay. And viewers, we have last 5 to 6 minutes in the show left. So it is your chance to pick up your phones and call us on the numbers available to you. We are going to go across to another WhatsApp query. Premnath has written to us from Goa. He currently holds 2,000 shares of IRIDA at 310 rupees a piece, and he's asking a long-term view on this one. So therefore, Vaibhav, I would like to take your view on IRIDA. The share price at which our viewer bought them was 310. The stock is trading around 173. So definitely a huge downtake that the stock has undertaken. When do you think it would recuperate to the levels at which Premnath bought them? And what do you think is a long time horizon of this one?
So if we see IRIDA is trading at a PB of 4.54. So companies like IRIDA are trading at higher PB already. So means if we see the average PB of such type of companies is near about 3.5, I will say. So still IRIDA is little expensive, but IRIDA have that ability to deliver profits in upcoming quarters, and they have ability to maintain their margins. So because renewable energy is a thing which is in demand, government is focusing on that part. So I will recommend, if investor view is for very long term, then yes, I will recommend to hold that particular stock.
So hold on IRIDA. And next up, we have Jay Sekhar, who has written to us on WhatsApp from Chennai. He currently holds 48 shares of LIC at 892 rupees a piece, is sitting on a loss of about 1,000. Gaurav, I'll take your view on this. LIC has been trading in a range for quite some time now. 870 has been the price since year to date. What's happening with the stock? Why is it not moving? And would you recommend viewers, investors to enter at the current level?
Rightly said, the stock has been completely beaten down in past say 6 to 8 months now. It went up to 1200 odd levels and then corrected to levels below 750. Currently it is at 870. As of now, the stock is looking good. So since the viewer is invested in the stock, so I'll suggest him to stay invested. And if it is a short-term position, then take a stop at 800, and he should consider taking at least part profits around 1,000, and that level is likely in the next 2 to 3 months itself.
So if you're a long-term investor, stay invested. If you're a short-term investor, 800 should be your stop loss and 1,000 your target price. We have Venkat from Chennai joining us on the phone line. Hi Venkat, good evening. Venkat? Okay, no issues. Venkat from Chennai had called us to inquire about IDFC First Bank. He currently holds 5,000 shares of IDFC First Bank at 63 rupees a piece. The stock has climbed to 66.59, about 66 rupees. He is sitting on a profit of say 3 rupees per share from that angle, accumulating a profit of about 18,000 in total. Seeking a long-term advice on this one, therefore, Vaibhav, I'll take your advice here. What do you think IDFC First Bank is looking like? And I know that you spoke about the banking space in the initial part of the show, but talk about IDFC First Bank particularly, please.
If we see, IDFC is currently trading at a PB of 1.28. But there's one important thing in IDFC is that their asset quality can have more stress as compared to peers in upcoming quarters, what I expect. So that's why I say ki we should be little cautious about this particular stock because stress in asset quality can impact its net profitability in upcoming quarters. And as well as already there is a stress of deposits. So it can be a double whammy impact on this particular stock's profits.
Okay, okay. Understood. With that, Vaibhav Vidwani and Gaurav Sharma, thank you so much for joining me in this edition of Ask Profit and answering all the queries of our viewers with such patience. I'm sure they're extremely valuable and we will see you again. And viewers, you stay tuned. Definitely keep these numbers in mind because they're for you to send in your queries. You can also call us live on Ask Profit. We're both live in the morning as well as in the evening. But for now, you have to stay tuned to the channel as we have Profit 360 lined up for you right on the other side. And now I'm being joined by Sanjana Chauhan to give you a brief introduction of what it is going to entail.
Thanks, Malika, for that. We're going to be seeing a couple of top stories that we'll be focusing at the top of 8 o'clock. First up, of course, we're seeing monsoon fury, monsoon mayhem wrecking the city of Mumbai once again. We're going to be asking some tough questions on Mumbai's infrastructure and why it seems to be collapsing come every monsoon. Then, of course, we look at the SEBI. We seem to see that the SEBI has, in fact, put the ball in the exchanges court with regards to F&O expiries, have said that you can either have it on Tuesday or Thursdays, but it is up to the expiries to pick just one. And then, of course, we're going to go into what happened with the Supreme Court today when it came to the JSW and Bhushan Power and Steel case. But more on that on the other side of this very short break. I'll see you on Profit 360.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market mover.
SEBI asks exchanges to choose the F&O expiry days from either Tuesday or Thursday, says exchanges need prior approval before changing their current expiry day. Mumbai crumbles as the monsoon arrives early, results in flooding of the Worli underground station under the city's newly inaugurated Aqua Line. Meanwhile, a part of a road near Kemp's Corner caves in, disrupting traffic. Active COVID cases in India crossed the 1,000 mark. Kerala reports the highest number of cases at 430, followed by Maharashtra that reported 209 cases. The markets end higher as Nifty Sensex jumped by 0.5% to gain for a second session in a row. All sectoral indices close in the green. Small and mid-cap indices mirror the benchmarks. The Supreme Court orders status quo in the JSW Steel Bhushan Power case, pauses all liquidation steps, says no effective order to be passed by the NCLT until the Apex Court rules on the review petitions. Indigo Airlines founder Rakesh Gangwal and Chinkapu Family Trust are planning to sell about 3.4% stake in the Interglobe Aviation for over 6,800 crore rupees through a block deal. Yet another setback for IndusInd Bank. Sources tell NDTV Profit that Executive Vice Chairman of the bank's microfinance subsidiary, Bharat Financial Inclusion, has resigned with immediate effect following the large accounting gaps in the company.